Hey guys, on today's video, we're going to be setting up your brand new camera. So let's get started. So I'm going to go over the basics really fast. Down here, you guys should take a look at this. Right here, if you move your camera down, you're going to see your SD card. So that's where your SD card is at. And this is where you reset it. So usually if anything goes wrong and you need to do that, that's where you do that from. So again, sometimes you do have to troubleshoot this, and that's where you guys are going to do that. Now, with a screwdriver, I'm going to take these out. And by the way, this is something that you don't need to do. You don't need to unscrew this right now. But if you guys wanted to put another memory card, that's where it goes. I just wanted to show you that. If you guys just put this down like that, this comes out. And your SD card would be right in here. And it's a little hard to focus in, but that's where it goes. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. And there you go. So that's the SD card. And to take it out, you just press on it and it kind of just pops out. And then with your finger, or your nails, I should say, try to take it out. And that's how this comes out from your camera. And to put it back in, you just do that. Let me just zoom out a little bit. And then just press on it until you guys hear that click and you're good to go. Now this is something that's good to know how to do, but you don't need to do as part of your setup. Unless your camera didn't come with an SD card, that's where you guys would place it. Now your SD card, if you bought this and you already included it, well, it was supposed to be already installed in there. So you don't have to do this yourselves. But anyways, as part of the setup, it is good to check if there's an SD card in there anyways. Right now you can bring it up. Your camera will be here. We're gonna take this out, the very last step, all right? And then I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. So to connect your camera, you guys will see this. You will have to hook it up here. So that's how you guys can bring power to your camera. This will obviously go to an outlet, but before we even do that, see this, you're gonna have to mount this. So go ahead and take a look where you're supposed to mount this. So it depends on your house, but always make sure you guys have enough space. So don't bring it all the way to the top of your ceiling. So if you really wanna place it up there, always leave a bit of space, just a little bit, so you guys can move this around a little bit and the cables can go through just fine. Now with your setup kit, you should have got some screws. There's 3 of them. So here they are. Now, not all of you will need this. Some of you will. I highly suggest looking for studs so you don't have to set it up with this. But regardless, a lot of you will have to use this. And they're not the best thing to use at all. Because usually from what I've seen, they always fall off. I'm not talking about this brand. Just in general, these guys don't usually last. But if you guys find a stud or some wood, then there you go. You guys can just use this directly. So basically, you would need to set this up first. So let me just explain what's going to happen. So you're going to set this up first. So you're going to have to go on and then just drill some holes and put this right through. You do get this with it. So you guys can go on and drill your holes first and then run your screws right through. So this does help you. A lot of people will not even use this. They're just going to put this against their wall and then go ahead and drill it right in. So it does depend on your whole setup if you guys will be using this or not. All right, so basically once this is mounted on your wall, you're going to take your camera and you're going to run the cables through here. So the cable's going to run through. Then what you guys are going to do is just place your camera on the side. I'm going to show you this right now because later when it's mounted, it's harder to show. So you're going to place it like so, just on the side, like this. To see this where it says unlocked, place it there. Just align these 2 things. The unlocking thing with your arrow. Then just move this and then it's gonna move to the locking position. Right now it's locked and it will not move from there. So that's how it's supposed to be. So whenever you guys do wanna take out your camera, you just unlock it like so. All right, so that's what you guys are gonna see. That's something that's gonna be hard for me to show you when this is mounted on. So it's very important for me to show you right now. Just aligning the things and then just, there you go, locking it in and unlocking it. So again, this is something that you can't do right now. You have to mount this first or else you can't get those screws through there. So that's why this is one of the last steps. Now, besides that, what I would do before mounting anything is hook up your camera right now and set it up. And that's because you guys wanted to see that this actually works before you screw it on anything, anywhere. So I generally do that before I set this up. Unless it's a really easy setup for you guys, just go on and put it wherever you guys need to put it. and then run through the setup. But again, I recommend setting it up before you hang it wherever you're supposed to hang it. So that means we're gonna connect it. So right here, we're gonna connect it. And this also to verify that this is actually working. It might not be working. You might need to get a replacement. So you don't want to have to unscrew this and then maybe you guys put some staples to keep this nice and tidy and then you see that this doesn't work. So that's what I'm saying. Always test out your product before actually doing the entire setup. So the setup is very easy. All you guys need is an app. So you guys can do this from your tablet or from your smartphone. It's gonna be the exact same instructions, by the way. We're gonna go into your app store. From your app store, look for Lorex. So before it used to be Lorex Home. Right now they changed it to just Lorex, pretty simple. So just press on get and it's gonna start downloading. So that's this app right here. So again, this is the app. That's what you guys have to download and then just press on open. Now the reason why I'm showing you this on an iPad is because it's a bigger screen. So it's better for you guys to see. So we're gonna go on and right down here, you guys are gonna see sign up. If you don't already have a sign up, I assume not, you're brand new to this. So we're gonna go on and just choose our location, going to next. From here, put in your first name, last name, email address, create a password. It's not the same password as your email, unless you want to use the same one. I don't recommend doing that. Then down here below, you're gonna see continue by agreeing, and then all the way in the bottom, activate, get an activation code. So tap there. So once you do that, fill everything out, you're gonna get a verification code on your mail, So in your email, check for that verification code, put it in, then press OK. And then you're gonna get a lot of pop-ups saying, would you like to access your microphone, all that. Put yes for everything, really, because you need access to everything. In this case, only if you guys have an iPhone, iPad, it's gonna ask you for this Face ID. You guys can allow or not. I would allow if you guys have that. And then on the top, you guys are gonna see Face ID login. And I'm gonna do that just so I don't have to put in my password every time I log into it. Then we're gonna go back, and right here, it's the two verification. You guys can enable this or not. I'm gonna do it not now. And just press got it. And there you go. You guys can tap on add your first device. So we're gonna do that once we hook this up. So let's go to our camera and hook it up so we can actually do this. So since we're doing this setup before it's actually mounted, we're just gonna place this like so nothing gets in its way if it starts moving around. So we're gonna plug it into some electricity. So once you plug it in, let me just take out the sticker so you guys can see what's going on in the camera itself. You're gonna see these lights. So that means it's got power, it's gonna move around. Remember I told you to place it like so? And that's because you guys want this to move around freely, so don't just have it laying down on the table when you're doing the setup like me. And again, I highly suggest doing this first. That's very loud. So we're gonna go on and tap to add our first device. Remember to have your Bluetooth turned on, don't have power saver mode or anything like that. Then from here, we're gonna go and go into our settings. All right, this part's a little hard for me to show you guys, but just make sure all this is turned on, especially local network, okay? Once you've done that, you're gonna notice this. Just go back to your app, you're gonna see this, all right? So you have to choose which one it is. So depending on what you're setting up, you're gonna choose whichever camera. In this case, it's a wireless camera, so Wi-Fi camera. And then we just do scan the QR code located on the device. So you're gonna take a look at the back of your camera. There's gonna be this, okay? So we're gonna have to scan that. So just hold up your camera. And if you can't hold up your camera, you can enter manually. So that option's down here below. So if you guys see down here below, it's gonna say manually enter device ID. So just copy what it says. All right, so now that you guys scanned it or put in your device ID by hand, depends what you guys did, just go into next. And you have to choose if it's a wired connection or wireless. Wireless means Wi-Fi. Wired means that you guys ran your Ethernet cable and hooked it up. So that's not in this case. We're gonna do wireless. And we're gonna go on into next. So it tells us exactly what we're supposed to do. And let's just go into next. We're gonna allow this. Then you're gonna see something like this message, just press join. So what you guys can do is just go into your Wi-Fi connection and hook it up to this F4 thing. So go into your settings, go into Wi-Fi, and then you're gonna see that one here. So just hook it up. So again, up here, I hooked it up to this. That's because that's the one that's showing me. And right here, you guys should see something that's saying that you connected successfully. Now back to the app. Remember in the app, it said that it failed to connect. We just went to the settings and did it ourselves. Right now, you guys can put your device's password. So this means you're making up your own password, by the way. It's not a password that's already made. And it does tell you that it needs to contain at least 8 characters and a combination of numbers, letters, and special characters. Or special characters, I should say. So it could just be numbers and letters. So once you guys put that password, just going to next on the bottom. And right here, go ahead and select a Wi-Fi network. So that's what this is gonna hook up to, okay? Your camera. So whatever network makes sense to you guys. In this case, it's gonna be Tech and Design. You do have to put in the password for your Wi-Fi network. That's the one that it's logged into. So you're not creating a password. This is the password for your Wi-Fi. So right now, we put in our password. Just press on connect. And something I forgot to say is click on save password. But we're almost done with the setup anyways. So right now, it's telling us that we need a solid green. You guys can see, we got the solid green on our camera. So that means we're fine. I'm going to next, and it's adding our device. So this does audio recording as well, so we're gonna do that for sure. You guys can turn that off at any time. By the way, everything that we're doing right now, you guys can change it up later on as well. So we do want this alerts. Most of you want those alerts, not everybody. In my case, I'm gonna press this on my backyard. Well, I'm gonna set up in my backyard, so that's why I'm doing that. And in this case, we're just gonna press on complete because everything's fine. And there we go. Right now, what you guys can do is press on play. And again, it's gonna give us this quick thing that local network is supposed to be enabled. It's all good actually. And right here, we can actually view right now what the camera is viewing. So if I move my camera around, I can make it view my iPad. It's view my wall. That's why you guys are seeing that. Let me just tap here. It's gonna give us a quick thing about everything that we can do on the app. We can zoom in and all that stuff. But there you go. That's it. We're done with the setup. Right now, you guys can press on record video. You guys can go into further details about this timeline. There's a bunch of things here that you guys can do. But here are the basics, and you got this all set up already. It's actually working right now. And it's giving me that alert that there's somebody there because it detected my hand. But as far as this video goes, we are all done. If you guys have any comments, questions, you guys can write there in the comments area. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.